Who knows? Who knows what we have in store for us? I'm a little bit concerned though that now I still feel like there is some value with Nyx Assassin in this game. Like you play relatively well into the Ember. If he's farming with that Flame Guard, you can always set up. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Stark, if he's farming with Dark Pack as well. So who do you play with this game for Roger? Because he's going to be roaming a lot. Is it just going to be him and the Pango? Is there a trio that they can add to the mix as well?
I mean, the thing is with Roger, you do lack a little bit of damage early on, and Undying provides you basically nothing. So I think maybe the way that they just need to play it is just to make sure they have a decent enough time in the laning stage and play a slow-paced game. That's what they want on OG. They want to be playing reactively. I don't think you need to necessarily invade into level up side, just because, you know, Undying wants to be playing around like this anchor point, and if the anchor point is like, you know, a high ground cliff, then, you know, they can just run away on level up. Look at the tools that they've got to run away, right? They've got the Surge, they've got the Blast Off, they've got even additional movement speed from the Stone Gaze, Pounce, Ember Spirit. They have plenty of ways to be able to disengage here. So OG are really going to need to be on point with a lot of their stuns. I'm really looking at Thompson on his Pangolier with those chain stuns from the Rolling Thunder, as well as Roger landing some potential Ravages here on the Nyx.
And Roger's going to be playing down bottom into the Techies Darkseid lane. So what do we make of this with Kitrak going top versus the Medusa and the Slark?
Not really going to be able to do much against the Medusa, I suppose, but I guess they just feel like, you know what, at least Kitrak's going to be able to have some sort of impact against this Slark, even if it's just with the Decay, whereas the Nyx Assassin, you really can't do anything. You know, you're just food. Extra Essence Shift stacks that you're able to get off in the lane. Line. We get to... And we've seen the Medusa be an absolute menace in the position 1. We've seen a high amount of effectiveness as a position 3. But how many times can you say you've seen it position 5 come through here for Milan? This isn't the mega busted Medusa that it used to be, but he can certainly look to play very aggressive here and output a ton of damage too.
They're just trying to replicate the pubs, brother. That's all they're doing. Get a little bit of pub action in here. I am slightly concerned of the 15 to 20 minute mark where you've got that second nighttime where the active level up is going to be. Do you see a same issue for OG? As not if you get kills on the Hawk. Well, that's a great way to start for Seb.
Sure. And that's also a very surprising kill that they're able to get. How the hell did that happen?
It's just the old duo, brother. Never laned together, but it doesn't matter. No one and Roger. Next teammates.
Each other tick. I mean, Techies should never really be in a position to be able to get picked off by that. I mean, that's the big advantage of the hero, right? You could just stay at so far range, really look to just plink away at them without too much that OG are going to be able to do in response. So a couple of good, big early kills that they're able to get off the back of that, but I'm kind of in agreement with you about like that 15-minute mark, second nighttime, but again, like it's really just going to be around, I would say, even OG making a mistake, right? Like, because if they don't get picked off, then I still feel pretty strongly about their potential to rally around one of these big choke points, whether it be an objective or, you know, just a place for Thompson to be able to bounce back and forth with the Rolling Thunder.
They are very immobile though on Radiant, would you not say? So it's probably going to come down to you got to be just on point with your positioning, your wards to be able to scout out any smokes before they happen and just to TP in so you are all set up for a 5-man.
Exactly, and it's not even just like having the TPs on its own, it's having the TPs and like the resources to be able to actually contribute to the fights. You know, it's pointless TPing into a fight if it costs you, you know, the 75 mana to do it. If you've got 100 mana, then you're just basically not contributing anything other than potentially dying and giving even more net worth over to the other team. So I think it's just going to be about OG recognizing that and saying, look, at this 15-minute mark, make sure you're pretty highly topped up on mana, make sure that you're not getting picked off and having low HP, and make sure that you are in a spot where you can actually make a TP response, because we know that they're going to be coming at us.
And well, they should be able to get to that stage in a great timing for OG to at least be able to match the early aggression that we're expecting out of level up, because they are bodying all the lanes, in top in particular. And this is one thing. I mean, Phoenix versus Slark. Yes, the game goes on. It's kind of nice to be able to get rid of the fire spirits, but early on, you cannot sustain versus the trade on the Phoenix. You never wanting to try and dark pact off the fire spirit damage. It's just going to do just as much to yourself. No point of doing that. So this is a very regen heavy lane, and you're probably just. They've done a really good job with the creep equilibrium as well, which is going to make it super difficult for the Hawk just to soak level 6. So I actually don't know what they do top. And I mean, we see bottom as well. Like, you're having a great time for no one too.
You are. This creep wave is a little bit more challenging though, right? Onmi's just hit up onto the level 3. He had the double ion shell creep, so maybe they could have potentially gone in underneath the tower and looked to dive no one with this just weight of numbers coming through from this creep wave, but doesn't seem like they're all that keen to. You know, just doubling up on the farm that Onmi's able to pick up, taking a small camp at the exact same time as the actual creep wave. I'm a little bit perplexed about what they're going to do. I mean, Dark is still level 2. This is crazy. 5 minutes in.
Are you looking to rotate? Oh, are they going to go for the dive? Oh, look at Roger's TP. Actually, through the rift he goes. Stun's going to be on the mark. Is the Hawk just trying TP out? He's got Lotus and stick charges. Probably too late though. And Sweet and Strong's going to try and come deal with the tombstone issue.
Nope.
Oh, he even got the deny as well. Oh my god, no gold for you.
They used a blood grenade as well, and Kitrak still doesn't die. So I wonder if if Sweden Strong moving up here is actually going to enable no one. Actually, he's pretty happy with just farming, right? Old G, again, they're going to play this as passive as possible in terms of what they're doing around this Morphling. It's just about making sure he gets his couple of early items and then looks to scale into the Aghanim Scepter. Early on, it's a good Slark game against the Morphling, right? That pounce to be able to lock him into position, but as soon as you get that Aghanim Scepter on the Morph, it suddenly turns it around.
Interesting use out of the Rolling Thunder from Thompson. That he is. Oh, and he's going to get lucky on Thompson as well. Meanwhile, bottom, they'll kill Onmi. This is looking disastrous for level up.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you look to pick this Darkseer, again, it's good against the Morphling, don't get me wrong, but they have no melee support hero for them to be able to play it with.
They're going to have the damage for Seb. They will indeed. That's a big kill. Sweden Strong will still go down. Lan's going to be up to the task to deal with the tombstone. This time he'll get the gold for it. Do not believe he gets a kill to Kitrak. Another blood grenade. And a right click. Kitrak
one more.
Not live. Okay, that is what you need. Just you carry.
I mean, he's going to yoink away the wisdom rune.
Oh no. Did they see him? He didn't. Oh no, no, no. They're starting to come on over on Seb. He will be too late though, and Milan could just TP out. Did they get the other one as well?
No.
At least Roger was able to get the other one.
Yeah, it was a battle.
A hard-fought battle indeed for that experience. Ever so vital. Roger will be triumphant though. Medal will go in his honor. Well done, my good sir. Might even get a kill as well as Thompson rotating bottom. Got a nice old DD to work with. And a cliff as well to bounce back off as well. All it needs is a couple of stuns to set up for the kill onto the Darkseer. Meanwhile, they are going to try and shove out mid, but of course Thompson should be able to get back in enough of a time to be able to catch some of the creeps.
I like where Sweden Strong's moving, just trying to intercept him as he makes his way back towards this mid lane, but just a little bit too quick there on Thompson. Make sure he's able to get past the Techie's barrier and deal with this push coming in. A little low on mana, I suppose, on Thompson, which might be a little bit of a concern, but he's got magic wand charges.
Nice dodge.
Right. This time, they get the arcane rune. Lorenoff. Can they go for a smoke? I mean, don't quite have the level 6 on Milan, so, you know, the disengage is still going to come fairly easily for them. Instead, a much easier target that perhaps has a little bit less mobility on this top side. I mean, at least the Huck's been able to hit up onto the level 5, right? You know, still basically half net worth of the Morphling at this stage, but he really just needs that level 6 so that he can get the hell out of this lane.
7 danger?
He's got the...
They should be able to set up for the jump. Sweden Strong's not going to go for it, though.
Wonder if they do stick around now, though. You know, you got the tombstone, duration, 30 seconds, dive, 30-second cooldown on that. So if they just look to stick around for this next little bit, claim out the bounty rune for themselves, they could potentially look to make another play up top here, especially if Dahak is able to soak up level 6 before that point.
They got a great ward inside the river, though. They're going to scout out Lorinov, starting to step on over towards the top side. So
Tombstone expires, but look at OG knowing that they're going to make this sort of play, backing off in time. And Seb's level 6 now, so can they respond in time?
He's going to dive in aggressively. Can they even get the kill? Lorinov has to try and rem them out, so Egg will be used to keep Kitrak alive.
Oh.
How do you feel about that?
I don't hate it, just because, again, you're still going to have the Tombstone by the time that Kitrak comes back out. So it's basically just like ping-ponging back and forth in terms of like what is actually the defensive tool that you're looking to use to be able to slow this game down enough. Because,
oh
again,
my god! Oh my god, he almost died. Sorry.
It's all right. I forgive you. But yeah, they're just trying to stall this game out, right? They want to make sure that the Morphling comes online. And nice stun by Roger.
And he'll get the kill with the blood grenade. Roger will not live to tell the tale. To be killed that Lorinov at least able to get a little bit of gold injected into his bank. So he's really the only person on level up having a good game. Will I hear a Rolling Thunder?
I mean, he doesn't have any mana left. He's got a Vanguard, though, to be able to play around with. Will they have the damage? Looks like they will.
Cool Vanguard, bro. This is, now I expected the start to go. What can they do with it now, though? On OG, you get the boys getting so much farm. Do you... what are the thoughts on... Sorry, you go.
I was just saying the thing I'm most surprised about is how much farm Thompson has. You know, Ember Spirit is picked as a counter to the Pangolier just because with that searing chains, you really nullify a lot of that movement ability that you've got. And Thompson, well, this might be why he's been able to do a fairly decent job of like yoinking away some of the farm that Ember Spirit and Darkseer have been looking to potentially play around.
Has he bitten off a little bit more? Oh, he might actually go in though with the swashbuckle on the backup. Hoping that Roger's able to close the distance, but he's a little bit too slow to do so.
Just go yoink the creeps, but Thompson wants kills, he wants heroes.
Should be able to find them. Maybe on the way back. They've got a huge creep wave to potentially protect. Maybe Milan can address that with the 3 points in the snake. With this Pango Ember, I mean, I really haven't seen it a whole lot since the change to the Universal, so I don't know how much that affects the laning matchup in particular.
I think it affects it pretty significantly, especially considering the Swashbuckle got a very recent nerf in the 7.33D patch, right? 400 damage on the dash, 400 range on the dash is tiny relative to what it used to be. You know, it used to have that full range, the full 850, I think. So the fact that he's still being able to do a good amount of damage and come
Look at
out...
his build, though. Oh, he's 413.
Yeah.
It's like, screw you nerf. Who gives a damn? It's pretty nice vacuum, Thompson. Not going to be able to escape, and now that's a big kill for them to find. Roger will still yoink the life of Sweet and Strong. They're even going to drop a wall for it. All right.
They are so happy right now on OG. Like, Thompson dies, Roger dies, but in the meantime, no one is farming completely uncontested. He takes a bottom tier 1 tower on his own. He's still got double the net worth of the Slark 12.5 minutes into the game.
It's just going to be a great timing on the Mancer, and we'll see if he wants to go into... I've got to imagine, I'm just trying to think of a second item that you would go instead of the Scepter next, but...
there is one.
Okay, I like this, because I was going to bring up the question, do you want the Hawk to go Midas or not? Because I felt like this was a Midas game with how rough his lane went. But then I thought there might be some value still with going like a early Treads Echo and just playing for the second night timing with the Darkseer, and potentially you can just fight your way back in.
Not with how horrible the lane went, I don't think. You can't afford it. And even just like, it's going to allow him to keep up in levels, sure. You're going to have less places to be able to farm. Like, the lane obviously isn't a safe place to be, so anything that can make your jungling a little bit more efficient is going to be a positive. And even just the base attack speed that it provides against the Phoenix with that Supernova is going to be pretty key. I mean, that plus the Tombstone as well. All that attack speed is going to be a big plus for the Hawk. I don't know if you can be up here, my man.
I don't know either.
Oh, he's taking...
Oh my god. How do they play the map? You see Ember's trying to split push. Thompson's going to shut that down around the Wizard Room timing as well. And meanwhile, you've also got Seb with the Midas. So this Phoenix scales very well into the late game, and they do not have egg answers at all. We all know how important levels are on the Phoenix too, so this Midas is going to, without a doubt, pay off.
I mean, it's basically Milan that's your hopeful answer to it, right? With that split shot being able to deal with the egg as well as do a little bit of right-click damage in a lot of these fights, but this really does feel like Level Up, they tried to get a little bit tricky, you know, and it worked, right? The Morphling came out as a response to it, but it really just feels like this Phoenix has done way too much in this safe lane. You got to remember the Slark was the last pick overall, so you would have known that this is exactly how Old G were looking to play it.
Yeah, I really wonder then how much the Undying actually playing here changed that potential to match up. Because like you said, you would have known, like Phoenix Slark, it's not a fun time to play in the lane, so I just wonder if OG with their craftiness with putting Kitrak top and Roger down bottom, because that also, they bodied bottom too. I mean, no one's still loving life. And you're going to be eyeing up.
I don't think, you know, like, I guess Darkseer can't really... Yeah, well, the Darkseer can't really do anything with a ranged hero, but also the techies probably should be dying to a Nyx Morphling, you know, with the amount of range that he's able to have over those two heroes. Seb's even trying to yoink away some of this farm from Lorinov, realizing how effective he was in the last game, being our MVP recipient. At least he's been able to pick up the Maelstrom, so some decent damage output coming there. And it is that timing that you were mentioning. The first night time, but Dahak doesn't really have any tools to be able to make plays, you know. It really feels like this is going to be a bit more of that catch-up time.
And meanwhile, instead of level up hunting for kills, it's currently Roger that is at least scouting out and soaking up some experience from Own Me. I think they got a glimpse, they got a glimpse of Roger. So they do at least know his position. Over inside the river though, Seb might be forced to use the egg. We see Level Up have no idea where rest of the boys are, because they will reveal themselves down bottom though.
Oh no, it's got the haste.
Can he connect though in time? He's going to start to move on over. This is pretty deep from OG. He won't get the kill. Lorinov is not going to be able to do it by himself though. No one else is really there from Level Up, and he's out of resources now with one swashbuckle.
Damage as well is just insane. I mean, Phoenix as well, universal hero. You know we love that. Going up against a lot of magic damage right now that Level Up are going to be able to throw at them. So this early pipe that Seb's going for is going to work out very well. Roger, I don't know if you want to be using that voice line.
What's wrong with that one?
Nothing at all. As they make another play for this mid lane, and no, I mean, it's a support Medusa. It's going to happen.
Yeah, but you might also lose the Ember. Nice replic. Oh, I thought they got him. Okay, just got away. Never mind. Lorinov to see another day. It was very close from no one. Does Thompson snipe him down, though? Is he going to be able to sniff him out? They'll both go the opposite direction, so Lorinov will be able to continue to farm his way back up, but Ben, I'm very impressed. OG, they're continuing to put so much pressure onto the map. Be more Seb free farming top is going to have a pipe at a pretty decent timing as well, so he'll probably look to get involved in a little bit more team fights once he has that, along with the level 12.
I'm seeing if there's any like Roger's got a Dagon, of course he does. You've got that, you'll have the pipe, you'll have the Ags coming at relatively similar sorts of timings. Thompson, probably not the full Manta, but maybe the Yasha at that sort of point. And then it's also going to be this daytime that they're going to be looking to play around. So take away some of the advantages that the Slark has to be able to play around with. It's really just making sure that you get into
cool.
timing.
A shield rune. What a nice rune to have when a fight's about to break out. So Thompson, he knows no fear, can just roll on forward, straight to the Hawk, does have a pounce up in a couple seconds, tries the Duke and Jive, gets out to the left. But oh gee, they're on the prowl, they're on the hunt, they should be able to catch up to him, but with the nighttime, the Hawk slips into the shadows. Meanwhile, though, they will catch up to Milan, though. So this sneaky Deucer flex to a 5 will have her third death of the game.
Being very clever here on level up though. You know, Own Me, he's cutting waves, he's making sure to try and bring them back onto a more defensive side of the map, and that's really not where you want to be when you've got this like 5k net worth league. Yes, the Morphling can still afford to be, because again, like he would have loved to be able to be the one to pick up that kill. He's about halfway towards the Aghanim Scepter, almost level 15 as well, so obviously going to be that much more effective at going for these consistent pickoffs onto the Slark in particular. Own Me TP's out as well, and well, it seems like they're gearing up to potentially make some sort of play soon-ish, but I mean, I'm not sure if the Blink Dagger is really going to help with that all that much. It doesn't feel like the Deuce is ready to fight. It doesn't feel like the Slark is ready to fight just yet. Ember specifically, I really feel like you need this this BKB available. That plus the drums, that's probably going to be enough to be able to deal with these... actually, the Seb's level 12, so that Supernova is going to have the additional 2 attacks to destroy. I was thinking maybe if it was still level 1, they could make something happen with it with that BKB, but maybe not so much now.
Smoke up. Lorenov be able to pop both smokes on Thompson along with Kitrak, and so Remnant's out to safety as well. So maybe they want to take the fight now with the Blink though. Own Me's going to start to group up with the team. They have a pretty decent ward nearby as well for level up. Even a DD onto Hawk as well. So all the stars, even though they might be very small and minor ones, are starting to align. 2 fights are going to break out simultaneously though. Seb's getting poked down, being well back inside the river. Thompson starts with an early use of the Rolling Thunder, but he's got Roger to combine with as well, so they'll easily catch up to Own Me's Darkseer. And now what was looking like maybe level up could take a fight, even down 6,000 gold, was not to be, with the Darkseer getting caught off away from the team.
I'm loving the communication that you can tell is coming out from OG as well. You know, after that, Thompson starts hitting the Ancient Camp. No one, I'm sure he's saying to him, bro, 100 gold away from this Aghanim Scepter. Just give it to me. I'm level 15. I didn't use my my morph either. And then we could just continue to move on forward. Even just the positioning that they're looking to set up for. Like, they're right in front of where the Wisdom Rune is about to spawn. Thompson will be able to yoink that one away as well. They might even get a free kill here onto Swedenstrong.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
More besides that, we saw Seb had to use the egg mid lane. Lorenov was being a bit of a bully.
Get a free Tormentor as well.
Yummy.
Grab ally coming up. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is under attack.
Got some pretty decent Ag Shard.
The duration
Hopefully
of the pounds. The Searing Chains.
that is true. That is true. You'd love the save. Think you'd even love to be able to get the Phoenix Shard as well. Hopefully that one doesn't go to the Nyx Assassin, which is pretty poopy.
Ah, it's fine. They got plenty of spell damage.
And well, they're about to have Roche on top of that as well, by the looks of it. So, of course, Undying, one of the better ways to be able to deal with Roche. Not even gonna need the Flesh Golem. And I mean, if you're ever gonna take a fight, it's in a close proximity area like that Roche pit. They are gonna smoke from level up, but it's just only a couple heroes inside the smoke, and it doesn't seem like they're aware as well.
And look at Roger. He's just patrolling inside this Vendetta. He knows that he's not going to change the speed that you take the Roche with, but if it means that he cancels out some sort of smoke attempt, he's done his job.
Middle tower is under attack.
Might even be setting up for Lorenov as well. Sentry nearby, but he wasn't ready for no one to fly over the top, and he's been super quick on the Ember Replicate, always playing around with the chains. It's Morphling. No one is just... he's taken over, and bottom, they're already looking at more as well. I don't think stopping them in between getting that kill is going to be Own Me with the surge away, but... Danog, please enlighten me. Because I thought this was going to be a very different game. I didn't see the lanes going as poorly as they did, and now OG are 10,000 gold ahead, and seeming like this should just be an easy closeout.
Should be, yeah. I mean, most of the time you wait for like second Roche to be able to go high ground, but they don't really need to. You know, the farming time is pretty much done. You know, all no one really wants is to be able to ignore stuff like the techies disarm coming through from the reactive taser, or not be locked into place by the Searing Chains. So as soon as he gets that BKB, it really feels like it's just going to be high ground time for LG. I mean, if someone gets in a position to be picked off, might even be before then. Just wanted to be able to stall this game out long enough for no one to be able to get that Aghanim Scepter, and man's got it.
Radiant are scanning.
I would have thought they would have been over the moon if it was like an even game at that point, even in net worth as well as towers. So the fact that they're this far ahead is just such a huge boon for old G.
See, any play that level up have gone for has just been thwarted straight away. They tried to smoke to catch Seb off. He was farming under ward, but
they just want a free kill somewhere. Slark doesn't have any permanent Essence Shift stacks at this point in time. He's got this Midas, he's got the Echo Saber, he's got Diffusal. Like, sure, the Midas is a farming item. The rest are kill items. You know, you want to make sure that you're able to find these quick pickoffs if you can, but, I mean, I'm not sure if you can anymore. With Seb being as farmed as he is, he hasn't even gone into the 500 health talent. He's just wanting to deal even more damage to this Slark over time with the Fire Spirit's damage per second slow.
Here's that BKB though on Lorinov that you were hoping for. So you have to stall the game out for that. They've got some pretty good wards set up around this mid lane as well if a fight does break out as the Hawk. We'll run first into Roger, but has to play super cautious because Miva over the right side, no one got that Slark replicate, so easy able to lock down Sweet and Strong. A kill into the tower they go.
You know, they've got vision up here as well because of the Slark's Shadow Dance being procced. Looking to try and defend this tower. They know that it won't be with the Supernova available. But the thing is, like, do you fight into this in a... Oh, there we go. There's that jump that we've been waiting for. First Slark replicate of the game as Seb's fearless.
Tigers. I said did cut the wave. It's a minor thing.
Sure.
You want the catapult?
It's a small victory, though, right? Like, you just didn't have a choice there on level up. You either take a fight 4v6 with the Aegis that you've got on the Morphling, or you retreat, they take the tower, and they don't extend further. They were just waiting for a full 5-on-5. They realized how important the techies is to, like, their damage output, even just amping up the damage with that proximity mines. It really feels like the only chance that level up have is, like, a 2 deep dive on the high ground underneath some tier 4s, or Onmi is able to get into this Aghanim Scepter. He's about halfway there.
Fire out, man. Halfway, that is so much time where OG don't have to fear. You even see Thompson's just going to poke out to deny 2 creeps in the face of the Darkseer. So even just, you know, making sure any little farm that potentially Onmi can get is going to be cut away.
And now no one has that BKB being delivered, I believe. Never mind, he's actually going Hurricane Pike, so he just wants to be able to get out of that leash. That's the main thing that he was really building it for, and you know what? I don't hate it. Even just being able to move away from the wall of replica a little bit sooner, get someone else away as well, can even use it to be able to help out the team. Really like this one too. And he's level 18, so a little bit less cooldown on the morph. He's still going to have the Slark as the main target, of course. That was the first time that he was actually able to get the in onto him, and Tahak, he's not be able to pop this smoke. And it's during the night time, so they've got decent vision, but they're just trying to find someone isolated at this point. Might even be worth just to the tier 1 tower and whacking it a few times. It's just on 300 HP, and they haven't taken a single tier 1. The creeps do it on the bottom side of the map, but you got tier 3s to deal with.
That you do. A Morphling beating onto your high ground already, even without the Aegis. They don't give a damn about it just expiring. And they're going to be slow to react, so tier 3 will go down without a response. And Roger might be able to get the setup as well with a stun on the 2. The blow up the techies, no they won't. Depth stride from the Hawk. Keeps him alive, but that's enough damage just to at least zone them away. It's probably going to be a full set.
Backdoor protection kicking in. Creep waves are coming.
Oh, Lauren. Oh, that's not how you want to use the BKB. Laurenov.
I mean, he had to.
Just gets away with the remnant. Meanwhile, on the backline, though, Tahak is trying to find the angle as well, but he's just got no room to play. There's nothing Tahak can do. Sunray almost burning him down, but the Shadow Dance about to expire. It's a defensive Stone Gaze just to pray that OG will retreat. But once this expires, they can look to go back in. They're actually going to buy them some respect, though.
They're desperate for them to clump up for that big vac wall, but the Blink Dagger was always on cooldown when he had the chance to be able to go back in. Importantly, they do defend that high ground. The melee barracks still remain standing. Owned Me, he was at the time just trying to push out that bottom side of the map. He still desperately needs this Aghanim Scepter if they're looking to try and turn this one around onto the Morphling. I mean, that's going to be your highest damage output, it feels, right? Just the Morphling illusion being able to deal damage into both himself and the rest of the team.
Mid lane? Maybe just a little bit of poke. Can they actually get the kill? Trying to feast, get some stacks going. They have a smoke, they do. Lanes are actually in an okay position.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh my god.
And he's a universal hero. All that damage. It's not inconsequential.
Why not even go for a BKB next? And importantly, who cares about BKB really? I feel like it's just 18.
Roger
That's the big
just
one.
dodged out Own Me, who was like, he's roaming around in his Vendetta, trying to find a quick pick off here, but not being able to find that Darkseer can be pretty big, although, ooh, is he going to end up running into him anyway? He sees that the Lotus Pool is being taken from, so he doesn't want to go anywhere near there.
Smoke pops and they should be able to run into Sweden strong, so definitely not the smoke. Yeah, I mean, then, oh, wait, what? But maybe they think he's on super orc. What just happened? What was that interaction? I don't know. Goes down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But like you said, probably just happy to give up the techies.
And Own Me is just
they see the Hawk.
Defensively.
He should know. He should know. He just dewarded this prior. Now that it's daytime, it's going to be so much more difficult to escape, and just these two heroes combined by themselves, he at least is able to activate the ultimate. He's going to try TP out. Roger's son still on cooldown. The Hawk will live to see another day, but guess what? Your high ground, let's get it beaten onto.
Darkseer's got the axe. He wants to be able to push this wave out one more time.
Thompson is a satanic.
No. He's got to get back. Not sure what Own Me is still hanging out here on this bottom side of the map for. Well, they get a free kill, but you just lost Elena Rax and you had all the boys available. No Aegis you were going up against either. Does he want his level 18? That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, he's so far away. He's going to come back now, but...
I mean, they're gone.
And yeah, and he's also not there right now if the fight breaks out. Nice scan from OG. Well aware that this smoke is going on.
Do they have a gem?
They do on Slark. Can you take this fight? Oh, what a great position from OG. Tops and pops the smoke with the ward. We'll get dewarded straight away, but they get a glimpse of the Slark. Now they're going to be able to play accordingly, making sure they all clump up just in case anyone gets picked off on the wings, because that's what you're praying for, level up. You can't take a 5-on-5. You need to try and get this one-man advantage and go from there.
OG just need to play around this high ground where they've set up their observer ward, right? Like, they know that the Roshan is just about to potentially respawn.
Oh, there's that advantage.
A quick pick off, though, onto the Nyx Assassin. This is huge.
And it is, Milan. Deuce is in a pretty good position to give them information as well.
Run away from
See how cautious they are. As soon as the Tombstones lay it down, Seb gets the initiation. Is there any way to protect the Ember? They're going to be able to turn low enough, reacts with the BKB, but straight to the backline they go. No one hunting the Slark. The Hawk's going to play under the cover of the Shadow Dance, but he's also used the Depth Shroud as well, so this is an all-out retreat. They've got to get out now. There's nothing the Hawk can do, can take the team fight. Everything on cooldown. They're still posturing inside the river, but can you go into OG?
I think you can. You don't have Tombstone. Flesh Golem's running out. No Supernova available. Sure, Nyx is coming back up, but that Morph Replicator is running out in, what, about 10 or so seconds? And you still have the Wall of Replica. You still have the normal punch. Do they have a smoke, though? That's the big question. And, oh, gee, they have Roshan to be able to claim. So, it really just is a question of, will they be able to make it in time?
That's just the issue with Slark. You're taking a fight at daytime when you use Shadow Dance and Depth Shroud. This hero no bueno at daytime without that. Oh, of course you have to, but it's a big reason why they potentially were hesitant to go back in, but now it lets them take Roshan.
Yep.
And now it lets them get the Aegis. And that's an all-out retreat once again. Maybe they might be able to turn to the tree line. Omi is waiting in the wings, just praying they can clear up. They'll do just that. If there's ever going to be a fight to come back, it is now.
Oh, that's satanic.
They'll kill Seb, instant use of the buyback. Can they deal with the Tombstone and then turns to Thompson as well. The Satanic gonna give him a little bit of bonus health to work with, but it is not enough. As Level Up can get Roger next as well, and some signs of life, but they're not done just yet as no one.
Another normal punch.
That's aggressive. They got the punch. Morphling illusions vital to the success inside the team fight. No one's gonna be locked into place, but maybe that's where he wants to be. Turns and punches onto the Slark. And now we can go to Milan next as well. It's time for no one to feast. He can reward himself with all the early game pressure that he was able to put onto the map and kills. There is no better way to reward how incredible of a game he's had.
Oh, he's dealing 9.5k damage in that team fight on the Morphling, and I mean, you really couldn't have asked for too much more out of Level Up. It's just the situation where you're that far behind. You know, you got the Aegis out of the Morphling, you got a buyback out of the Phoenix, you even kill off the Pangolier, but there's only so much that you can do. You know, the fight lasted long enough that the Tombstone was back up again and all of that, so they were able to use that to be able to delay the death onto Thompson. I'm not sure if Kitrak's in the best position, though.
Radiant's middle tower is
Was.
under attack.
Nearly getting picked off there by no one, but these longer fights, they are the ones that can potentially favor Level Up. You know, they just need to wait out and try and force out a few of those big old G cooldowns. It's just so hard to fight into the Morphling once, let alone twice.
And does that give you any hope though, heading into some of these upcoming fights towards the late stage of this game?
I mean, I always felt that timing was potentially coming, right? And, you know, this is why I was like, Level Up, they could do it, because the Tombstone is so hard to be able to fight around. You know, it does things like, you know, if you're not perfect with your Blink Dagger on Own Me, maybe a zombie spawns on you and disables it, and then you can't actually get that Blink wall in that he connected onto, what was it, 3, 4? It was pretty amazing at being able to deal out that damage. So, I mean, he is basically the only person that I'm looking at here in terms of what it's going to be able to do for the team. Now it's
Lincoln's
actually put a bit of fear into old G, right? I mean, Kitrak is going to need to be on point with that grab ally, because Seb would have to say is target number 1, right? He's probably not going to be putting himself in a position to be picked off, because man's used his buyback.
They're just going to force them back. So this set of barracks they attempted to grab maybe 10 minutes ago, they should be able to go back and claim. Sweden Strong's going to be a bit of a nuisance, trying to bully them away from their own high ground, but no one is just so far ahead that he doesn't have to fear about too much.
It's that Hurricane Pike.
And there's that barracks claimed. So we've got a smoke up instantly as well from OG, looking to try and sweep on over to Thompson, potentially the triangle as well, maybe anticipating Level Up to get set up as the Hawk.
Let me do it again.
Once again, we'll go pretty quick reactions out of the Dark Pact.
That's the thing, though. This time around, OG weren't baited into dropping a bunch of these big cooldowns, right? They know that they're going to have 2 lanes pushing in passively. They can afford to play this one a little bit more conservatively. You know, fighting around these little choke points, they know that this Darkseer is just waiting for the prime opportunity to be able to drop a blink vac wall.
While we have a chance, what do you think about the item build for Dusa? Going Lincoln's next, which I have to imagine you can probably just give to the Slark, for the Hex, and for the Morphling. Is there any value you could see out of a Scepter, considering he got the Shard?
I don't think so, personally.
Sure.
Like, it's just really all about enabling Dahak to go in first. They lost the gem in that previous fight as well, so Nyx is able to just walk on in.
Thompson doesn't actually get the jump up to the high ground. Could be very difficult. Oh, Tombstone used and just get out. That's the call, especially with Stone Gaze. That'll be able to cover the retreat.
So they use the Tombstone, but they also use the Stone Gaze. So I would have to say OG is still relatively happy with that.
Oh, Loronov's going to be forced to pop the BKB. The Hawk is nearby to respond as well. But now with the BKB about to expire, it means that Loronov's team fight is going to look much scarier.
For sure. I mean, to me, it's just about if you could somehow get into a BKB on the Slark and you finish this Lincoln's on the Medusa, Dahak is really enabled to be that true frontline presence.
Whoa, what the?
That's how scary it is for him to walk into it without that protection. Look at all these mines set up as well. I mean, imagine a vac wall into the mines. That could potentially be that big turnaround explosion of damage that they need. Lorinov?
Yeah.
Depth Shroud saved him.
And how is this only a 31% chance for level up? I feel like that's
The Frog
so
loves
high for
Darkseer.
them. They're starting to
Try and
walk
get a-
on out.
I mean, it is still nighttime for the next minute or so. They have
And
this
they're
this gem to be able to play around with. Dahak, he's patrolling the very edge of this cliff ward observer vision to be able to avoid a lot of the potential aggression, as he's going to be able to get away from no one. And just avoiding this, a quick pick off onto Roger would be fantastic.
And it would. The Hawk, he's going to be given the Lincolns as well to stop that replicate. Which is back up now for the Morphling.
Both teams just
And
playing
they've-
around their vision, but again, this is the Super Creeps power. They're pushing in the bottom side. They're going to be forced to respond eventually. OG can just wait it out.
They scanned as well, so they know no one's leaving. If you want extra confirmation, well, they've got it now with the scan. So Lorinov will have to go back. Hobson's even looking for a potential angle to wrap around, just slowly starting to poke and prod from afar.
Take away the
There's
vision.
No one. There's the jump. Roger to
got rooted, that
follow
would've
up as
been huge.
well. Ah, defensive use of the BKB from Lorinov was out of danger with that force staff, but felt like he needed it just in case there was any extra jump from OG, and it looks like we have quite the stalemate. They up underneath the warden. The Hawk will get rid of it instantly.
Seb was so close to dying there. He got rooted mid-Icarus dive. They saw the smoke come out as well.
Yep.
They're going to be able to be revealed underneath that one. So they'll see that they don't have their own high ground vision. Maybe no one. Just wait on the very edge, try and find a quick pick off. But Level Up have to be given their kudos of being able to defend against this. And they'll know that they went out there and set this up. So they'll be able to get this vital high ground cliff de-warded. I mean,
And-
it's very rare that you see a team who's this far behind be able to get on top of the vision game as well as Level Up have.
And
Gonna need to
importantly, it's daytime, but like that's the big thing as well. Right, there's the illusion. We see how much damage they're truly able to do into the Morphling.
Oh!
It's a really good wall as well, but the egg is even better directly in the middle of the fight. Level Up need to retreat, and they will be able to do so. So ultimate for ultimate, canceling each other out.
Dire's courier
Grab ally.
killed.
Ended up being able to save one of the teammates there, and well, they get a tier 3 out of it. No mega creeps just yet, and they do have the glyph up in another 5 seconds, but the most important thing is they do not have the Roll of Replica. That is the thing that you are most concerned about. No Supernova, it doesn't feel great. Maybe Seb, he's still a little bit short of the Aghanim Shard. Just look to play around that potentially, but he's just looking to keep these lanes shoved in. It's lane shove Dota during the daytime. Try and do that as much as possible, but yeah, you just see how much more hesitant Onmi is at being able to go in.
Oh. Now he's already used his blink. A bit of a window now, and no one's not going to mess around with the instant jump to the high. Come with the Impale as well. Can they get enough protection out, Ember? He'll be able to stand strong thanks to the
Saves his
defensive
BKB.
items out of Level Up.
High ground into a techies. It's just as hard as it used to be.
Why not go Roche then instead? Or just all retreat, get the resources back up, and maybe then go back out on the map.
I mean, a free Aghanim Scepter for a Pango feels pretty nice. Or even the Nyx, potentially just burrow down and siege that last lane of racks. Get Mega Creeps for yourselves.
Surely there is even an argument for Seb to get it.
Yeah.
I would say Pangos is definitely, I would also prefer that, but I really never see the Phoenix Egg dying this game. So if you want an extra save, could be alright.
They already got that. Undying. Should be enough.
What is wrong with 2?
Nothing's wrong with 2. 2 better than 1. Now 3. We know what Valve thinks about 3.
Yeah, no, they don't like that.
Anyone
But
about to
2.
hit like level timings? Own Me. Alright. Give him the wisdom room, please. Own Me needs that level 20. Come on, take it. Take it. There we go.
Yay!
This is all they're playing around. They're playing around the perfect Wall of Replica into the perfect normal punch, into a Scythe of Ice on the Darkseer. Like, if anyone is going to win in this game, I can't stress this enough, it's Own Me. Like,
I like the
Dahak,
spot.
it's a pretty good spot to be able to play around. Dahak's very close to being able to finish up that BKB as well. He would love to have that.
I think they saw the mine blow up. I don't know how.
Track.
Skin's a little
Get
bit
pretty
shy.
decent target.
So let's shot the
himself.
tombstone in a really strong spot on the high ground, which will give them all the information they need to take the fight. There's the wall, though. Importantly, they get the illusion onto the
he's
wall.
stoned.
Hawk
He's
is
stoned.
really right-clicking no one as well. Starting to steal a lot of essence inside the team fight, but now they've got a Phoenix issue with the egg drop directly on the dome. They need to retreat, but can they get away? As Laurenov is out of Remnant's going to be up to the boys to keep him alive. Can he get through the defender's gate? The Hawk, he'll stand there to protect him, but there's not much the Slark can do. He'll watch his mid laner be killed off out front of the base. And now OG, they're looking for some of the other members as well. Only 20 seconds until the wall of the replica. He can look to play around with the normal punch, which might be enough to guarantee the first life, unless no one can somehow life seal it up. It's
These
not
punches,
enough,
man.
though. They're strong. Are they strong enough, though?
Wall of replica in
it's up
3.
in 4. Can they buy enough time? The Hawk will be able to retreat back to safety of the base. No one's beating to Milan, but Milan, he doesn't give a shit. He'll shrug it off. It's just all about space, that's all it is. They need the time, they need the seconds. And level up will get it. Looking for a secondary punch as well. So close to catching it out with the vacuum drag back to Hawk. Has he gone a bit too far though? Has he bitten off more than he can chew? Defensive use of the depth shroud, that's not going to be the case. The back and forth, the spells when one team uses the ultimate, the other team will respect them and retreat back to their own side of the map.
They're able to once again root up Seb. No supernova available, but no reach for the backlines.
It's a great stun. The Hawk shrugs it off, though. He's got the BKB, but the damage to Hawk's going to be cautious. Thompson's making chaos on the backline as well, but as soon as the Stone Gaze is out, they need to respect it.
Oh, he's stoned.
Once again, it is a space-making ultimate, but it might be enough to set up for the kill to no one who is just playing on a fine line, but this Morphling is dancing perfectly. From Agi to Strength and back to Agi, no one looks untouchable.
They finally ended up getting that Mega Creeps. I mean, it was such a long fight. So many different things happened that, you know, the smallest thing can go unnoticed. When they were actually going for that first defense of the mid lane, it was Thompson with his Manta style that was just keeping a Manta style illusion hitting the Darkseer. So he was cancelling his blink constantly, and he was forced to use a right click just to be able to kill it. That puts the normal punch on cooldown, and you don't get that big combination that's kept level up in these past few fights. So, you know, the little things like that, not always completely noticeable, but I mean, you see what the result is. They're able to get Mega Creeps on OG.
This is not a lineup that deals with Megas as well.
No,
I have
not really.
no idea what the call is going to be. Oh, this is... They're going to see no one move up. Smoke instantly pops. Now, what's the call going to be for the Morphling? Jesus Christ, it's a little bit too close for comfort. Now, they're going to be cautious how long they stay outside the base for. The creeps are starting to swarm in.
Korea.
Korea side. Dark. Runs into no one first. So able to activate the BKB, but the Hex is out as well. Dark getting a lot of essence. Is it going to be enough to turn the fight, though? It's a rolling thunder creating chaos. It's a great vacuum, but as soon as the egg is used once again, there's going to be no rebuttal as it's an all-out retreat. But unfortunately for Techies, Sweet and Strong will not make it, and meanwhile your base is exposed with a tier 4 down and almost a second as well.
Zombies. They're chasing them all the way back from that fight. Poor Dusa, completely out of survivability. Goes for the buyback, but I mean...
That's just going to go for the jugular.
Yeah, feels inevitable. No wall of replica for 10 seconds.
And maybe no Darkseer. Look at the stun from Roger. The Hawk is beating onto no one, even though he's got all the essence. It's not going to be enough. Finally. That took them so goddamn long. What a frustrating game it must have been. But from start to finish, OG had a level ups number in this second game. Lanes looked incredibly good. And